Welcome back to Open Line tonight. Having a great conversation about what the state should do with Nathan Bedford Forrest, particularly just came up this month about honoring him, a day set out to honor him on July 13th. It's been done for years upon years upon years. The governor signed the proclamation once again this year because the governor under state law is required to do so. But Governor Lee later tweeted that this is a hard issue that he will look to reverse when the legislature meets again. My guest tonight to help us wade through this conversation is Dr. Rubel Shellick. Thank you for being here. I mentioned earlier at the top of the hour that both a theologian, a minister in your past, now retired from doing that, and a historian for us tonight. So thank you for adding your viewpoint on all of this. We are going to get back to the lines here. We have Jamone joining us tonight. Hi, Jamone.
Hello.
Hi there. Go ahead.
Hi. Thanks for having me on tonight.
Sure.
I was watching the show and I was talking about the conversation with some friends. And our history is our history, good or bad. I'm a proud Tennessean, born and bred here, went to college here, really love the South, would never leave. The Confederate flag does not bother me. The history of it all boils down to this. We're a capitalistic nation. With the Indians, we gave them reservations. With the Japanese interned during World War II, we gave them reparations. Where's the reparations for the African Americans? If you really want to stop all the conversation, let's have free education for all African Americans in the South by these college students and by these people who have bleeding hearts. Instead of worried about the past, let's improve the present and the future, because it's still happening today. And the only way to change in a capitalistic nation is make everybody useful and practically able to live in this society. And see, everybody, it's all the other topics you have on Open Line about how is Nashville growing and where is the diversity coming from. Well, when you're running out all these people who are already being left behind for centuries, it's easy to say, well, this is the problem, this is the problem, this is the problem, but where's the solution? And none of the solutions come from Nathan Bedford, the statue being torn down, or any of that stuff. Let's talk about some solutions of how can we help these people come get ahead. And let's get the pastor there to get all the church members to give money, scholarships, education, 100 scholarships a week, 100 scholarships a year, something.
I think
but statues coming up and down will not change the topic. And you know, you can celebrate them all you want to, but 100 years from now, it's the actions that we take that are the answer.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me talk to you.
Jamone's made the most important point we've made tonight.
Yeah.
That it's one thing to look back and say, what do you do with the history? We've already made the point. To memorialize evil and bad things is just not smart. But Jamone is right. Okay, what do we do to fix it? Well, I'm dumb as a brick and blind as a bat at times, but I know he's right about that. Some equitable way of addressing that and moving forward. I'm not sure reparations works. We didn't do reparations with the Japanese. We didn't do reparations with Native Americans. We have, for the sake of Native Americans and for African Americans, attempted affirmative action. Many Southerners, many politicians in the South used affirmative action as something to oppose and to slam. I have to support affirmative action for Jamone's reason. It is an attempt to get the playing field level. When you have made it impossible for a Native American or an African American to go to the same school that I went to. You're so much younger than me, you don't remember this, but I did not go to school with a black child until I got into university. I'm a child of the 50s and the early 60s. Civil rights movement is just gaining speed. Affirmative action was one attempt. A lot of laws have been changed so that Jim Crow laws are off the books. Black people can sit on juries. They're on the voting rolls. It's not enough. I don't know how to fix all of the things that need to be done, but his point is right that we've changed laws. And by the way, to his point, a lot of schools do special scholarship work for Native Americans and for African Americans. The school where I was president did. I know local Christian schools do that. It probably doesn't get enough publicity. It probably isn't talked about as much as it should be, but it's an attempt, Jamon, to get the playing field level. It's been so uneven. When you and I were born, because of our skin color, we had access to things, call it what it is, white privilege, white advantage, that other people, certainly my age, more so than yours, they did not have access to simply because of the accident of their skin color. A childhood playmate of mine during the summer, he came down and stayed with his grandmother in Tennessee from Michigan. I was a Tennessean. We played together in the summer, drank out of the same water hose, ate at the same table. But when I went back to school in the fall, he went back to Michigan. I went back to a school that had the new textbooks, and the black school across the tracks, literally, had the textbooks that we were through with, and the ones that were out of date, and the ones the covers were torn. I used the term a minute ago, dumb as a brick, blind as a bat. I was at that point in my life. At 12, I didn't see through that.
Right.
I do today. I wish I had seen through it then. I wish I had had enough influence to change it. I had no influence. My parents should have done more. My older siblings should have done more. I'm trying to do what I can today to say that was always wrong, and there must be some way to try, now that laws have changed, to do the hard part. And that's to change hearts and attitudes. I don't want to be colorblind. Some people say, oh, the ideal is to be colorblind. I don't want to be colorblind. I think there's a beauty in black skin. There's a beauty in the cultural diversity of Japanese or Chinese, whatever. I don't want to be colorblind, but I don't want color and racial and ethnic differences any more than gender differences to make one person privileged and another person locked out.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to take another call next, so stay with us. Bob, you are up next. I'm going to get to you, I promise. Actually, it's Sam. Sam is on line one, and I know you've been hanging there a long time.
Sorry, Sam.
You are up next, so get ready.